When you think of Isekai, what are the first shows that come to mind? While everyone has a different knowledge base, many anime fans will think of well-known shows like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Re:Zero, Sword Art Online, and The Rising of the Shield Hero. There's nothing wrong with enjoying what's popular, but sometimes you want to appreciate anime that's less well-known. With that in mind, we'll be counting down some underrated Isekai anime that deserves more hype than they get. Some of these series have been forgotten after debuting a decade or so in the past, like Escaflowne and The 12 Kingdoms. But there are also modern series that didn't get the attention they should have, like Ascendance of a Bookworm and Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. Vote up the anime that you'd recommend to fellow fans, and vote down the ones you think should stay obscure. Let's go! 10. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Having spectacular psychic powers might seem cool, but in the real world, they're actually kind of a drag if you never have a chance to use them. Iseoi Sakamaki, Asaka Kudu, and Yukasakabe are all bored out of their minds until one day they're invited to the mysterious world of Little Garden. There, they meet a woman in a bunny suit who explains that they have the chance to participate in high-stakes games that stretch their power to the limit, but only if they join her community. No names. The thing is, the community has been taken over by a demon lord. Joining the community means fighting the various threats against it, and working to restore its independence. For the first time, these problem children are finally getting to use their natural talents. 9. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? As a Japanese teenager, Misato Kurihara is a genius whose brilliance isolates her from her peers. When she's reincarnated into a fantasy world, all she wants is to be an average, everyday person. But while she's promised just that, average doesn't mean what she thinks it means. She's reincarnated as the daughter of a noble, with exceptional magic prowess. Still, she won't let her circumstances get in the way of having whatever passes for a normal life in this world. She leaves her home for a hunter school, disguises her identity, and pretends her magical skills aren't nearly as great as they are. But with all the ridiculous events that ensue, keeping her secret won't be easy. 8. Restaurant to Another World. Western Restaurant Nicoya is a popular Tokyo restaurant that specializes in both Japanese and Western dishes. For most of the week, they're open to regular clientele, but on Saturdays, they open to the denizens of other worlds. It's a lighthearted, relaxing show that's a great choice if you're looking for an isekai that doubles as an ayashiki, healing, anime. 7. My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to doom. Being reincarnated into your favorite game sounds like a dream come true. That is, if you get to be the hero. Katarina Clays is living a carefree life as the daughter of a duke when she gets a head injury and remembers that in a former life, she was a gamer who used to play the game she's now living in, as the villain. Unfortunately for her, Fortune Lover isn't the kind of game that rewards the antagonist. No matter what she tries, it seems like she's doomed to a miserable future. That is, unless she can find an unconventional route to happiness. 6. Outbreak Company. Like many isekai protagonists, Shinichi Kanu is a socially maladjusted shut-in who loves anime and games. Unlike most protagonists, he isn't totally escaping from that mindset. In fact, he has a mission that depends on it. The Japanese government has tasked Shinichi with spreading otaku culture to the fantastical Elden Empire. This is easier said than done. The Elden Empire has its own set of customs, expectations, and discriminatory beliefs to push through. Does Shinichi have what it takes to be the emissary of all things anime? You'll have to watch to find out. 5. Drifters. After being wounded in battle during the Battle of Sekigahara in the year 1600, Toyohisa Shimazu finds himself in a shining hallway filled with doors. He's soon pulled through one of them, and into a strange new world filled with fantastical beasts and warriors from all across history, like Nobunaga Oda and Saint Joan of Arc Toyohisa, and these other historical figures are drifters. That is, people gathered to fight the Orte Empire and the powerful ends. The Orte Empire has been heavily persecuting elves and demi-humans, and their only hope for a peaceful life is the drifters. These heroes, all of whom are from different times and cultures, will have to work together in an unfamiliar land to destroy the empire once and for all. 4. The Devil is a Part-Timer. Rather than a typical isekai where the protagonist is a regular human who has to get used to a magical world, The Devil is a Part-Timer is about the demon lord Satan of the land of Ant Isla, who suddenly finds himself in the real world. With no magic and no understanding of how to survive in modern-day Japan, he has to scramble to figure things out on his own. So what does he do? Get a job at McDonald's, of course. Only anime can not just deliver such an outlandish premise, but actually do it well. 3. Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Have you ever thought that isekai heroes can be a little too reckless with their personal safety? If so, you should check out Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious, an anime where the opposite attitude is taken to the extreme. When Seiya Ryagwin is summoned to save the world of Gaybrand, he's happy to do it, but not before he overtrains and buys more potions than he's likely to need in a lifetime. But while his fellow heroes find his attitude perplexing, it might be exactly what's needed to get the job done. 2. Ascendance of a Bookworm. After Motosu Ureno passes away, she's reincarnated into the body of an impoverished, sickly 5-year-old girl living in a medieval setting. This is all difficult enough, but she soon finds out that in this world, Books are luxuries only available to the rich. Using her new identity as mine, she sets about trying to create the books she loved in her old life. But with the limitations of her body and the social structure of her new world, it's no easy task. That's exactly what makes the show so interesting. Mine is an OP, but she's scrappy, innovative, and dedicated to her goal. 1. Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions. Isekai isn't exactly known for its realistic feel. High-powered fantasy can be a lot of fun, but sometimes it's nice to have something a little more down-to-earth. Grimgar, Ashes and Illusions is an Isekai that focuses on realism. Its cast of characters are transported to a new world with no special powers or positions, and have no choice but to join the army as low-level soldiers in order to survive. Rather than focusing on taking down a high-powered villain or attaining OP skills, this series is concerned with the characters' emotional adjustment to their situation and their daily struggle to survive.